Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to World Love Week. Once again, thrilled to have you guys with us today. And this is, by the way, I can say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, because it is morning in Southern California where Bridget is. It is the middle of the night here in Australia, 3 a.m. But today, this morning, and this morning actually technically here as well, you're going to be treated to the excitement of Bridget Callahan. And I tell you, I'm thrilled to have her with us because when most speakers, executives, and entrepreneurs go to create a presentation, they really have no idea how to convey what they want to say in an engaging and compelling way. But after working with Bridget, her clients show up with PowerPoints that are easy for them to deliver. The audience ends up retaining the concepts and remembering the speaker as the true expert that they are. They don't have death by PowerPoint, in other words. Bridget's on a mission to end the tyranny of those boring PowerPoints or keynotes for that matter. And she's passionate about helping people and speakers create presentations that engage and inspire their audience and turns them into raving fans. Today, you're going to discover how to break through slide shame. I haven't heard of that before. Slide shame, good way to call it. How you can love your slides again and how your audience is going to love you for being nice to them and nice to their eyes. Just even look at the presentation she's delivering right now, just to your eyes as you see her elegantly in the screen with the right lighting, with the right backdrop. Ladies and gentlemen, Bridget Callahan, how you doing?
Good. Thank you. It's great to be here. World Love Day or World Love Week.
It's just,
love it.
It's many World Love Days combined. Thrilled to have you with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to share some great before and after slides and really give people a chance to see what does a good slide look like. And learn to love your slides again.
Yay. That's a great slogan. Learn to love your slides again. I love that. I love that. Well, I'll let you run because I know you got some stuff prepared, and I can't wait to see this because we're graphics people. We talked a bit before we went live, and so when Bridget was like, "Here's what we do," I'm like, "Oh, I got to hear this. I got to see this." And I love the before and afters. It's sort of like watching a train wreck and how it got rested. So I will let you take it away, and I'll be here with you as needed.
Okay, great. Let me get set up here.
I did make you a co-host, I think, didn't I?
There we go. Okay, so are you seeing my slides okay?
I love it. Yes, that's beautiful. It's great.
So we want to break through slide shame, and we want to see how we can love our slides again. So what would it be like for you to love your slides again? If you've ever loved your slides, or maybe you haven't, what does that mean, right? And for some, how many people might have a presentation coming up so that tension is coming up that I need to get this going here. So in 20 minutes, I'm going to show you how you can up-level your presentation slides to match your expertise and to convey your message so your audience is thrilled they listened and glad they came. And we're going to look at how the brain works and retains information from a visual sense, and how your talk can convey 100 or 1,000 more words per slide than what you say alone. We always heard that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, I'm going to tell you why, okay? And your audience will appreciate your efforts and they'll want to work with you. Again, my name's Bridget Callahan and I'm your presentation experience strategist. I've worked many live events, taking changes from speaker slides just before they hit the stage and providing that calm effect for them so they can be their best. I've worked many large shows and small, and I've got to witness the results of these speakers and how their audience reacts. And unfortunately, I've seen many of them wondering if their time was well spent. I realize the impact the event can have on the audience, and I've seen all too often how speakers can make or break their experience based on their presentation and delivery. It amazes me how much money is invested in an event with travel, hotels, meals, venue rental, and yet they don't spend much mind share to the content and delivery of their message. To give you a little more background about me, I've worked with many Fortune 500 companies, including medical, pharmaceutical, banks, and auto. And I've had many stories of working backstage and witnessing performances that were both good and maybe not so good. And I know how important it is for the audience to have a great experience. I'm actually here today as an advocate for your audience. And I'm being their voice and letting you know what they need to see in order for them to consume and understand the information you're providing, and maybe even generate a higher conversion rate due to their increased connection with you. I'm all about, committed to abolishing the boring slide and create a win-win experience for you and your audience. In this short talk, I promise I'm going to convey to you how to keep it simple, how to avoid those pesky bullets, and how to tell a story. So let's get started. We want to keep it simple. And what I mean by that, and I say that because our eyes, when we're looking at projected light, which is light coming from a monitor or a projector, it has us want to look at the light, right? So think of yourself in a movie theater and you've got your popcorn, you've seen all the trailers, the movie's about to start, and then the movie starts playing, the music wells up, and it's like, oh, exciting, the movie's starting, but they didn't turn the lights down. And you're like, hey, turn the lights down, the movie started. It's like that. Putting a slide on a white background is like you're shining a flashlight in their light, in their eyes. And so give you an example. Look at this slide and notice how it's kind of jarring. And then when you try to read the text, our brain is actually looking at, we're trying to conjugate the dark on the light. And when I show some future slides, you're going to see, like if I go back to this slide, notice how our eyes go to the light, the letters, it's easier to read. So when you look at this, we have to conjugate each shape and then each letter and then each word and then put them together. And then we form a word and then a sentence and then a paragraph. You're talking about a lot of brain power. And if you want to put your audience to sleep, put all your slides on a white background. They'll be dead in 10 minutes. They're just gonna, their brain will be dead. They just can't listen anymore. And so in the industry, we have a name for this. We call this the eye chart, when they put so much text on a slide and you can't even see it. Like the back of the room, it's just a bunch of little pixels. So why do we do that? So I'm going to show you some before and after slides. This first slide is the actual slide I found. They grabbed a graphic from probably the website or, you know, some browser, and they slapped it on a white background. And it's like, it doesn't really even make sense what they're doing. So I said, what would it look like if I redesigned this? So I like the graphic. I think it's nice and colorful and simple and clean. It's like, make that graphic big and fill the screen. And then I took the left side, fill it with a dark background, and then light text that matches the color of the background of the graphic. And it's a nice cohesive graphic. Notice how simple this is. So again, before, that bright flashlight in your eye, and after, it's compelling. It's got that wow factor. It's pleasing. It's engaging. This next slide is a client of mine. This was his sample funnel. And I'm like, that's not a sample funnel. Let me show you a sample funnel. You know, it's got a graphic interpretation of what a funnel is, and it points to the words. It's easy to read the words. They're big enough that you can read it. It's just more fun. Okay. And then this was another slide of his. He called it his hot seat. And I'm looking at it, I'm going, that's not a hot seat. This is a hot seat. And when I showed this to him, he just loved it. And to me, I look at that and that looks like a really comfy chair. I could sit in that and be cool. But then you're surrounded in this desolate background and the clouds look like it's going to rain. It's a little scary, but that's what a hot seat is. You know, it's comfortable, but it's a little bit unnerving. So this worked really well for him. And, you know, I say avoid bullets. And why do I want to avoid bullets? Because you want just some clean text. You don't want to have to keep listing things. We get bored of the listing things. So I'm going to show you how to avoid those bullets. And I say under no circumstances, don't use bullets, because we know bullets kill. We've heard death by PowerPoint. How can we avoid those pesky bullets? So here's an example of a slide I got from a client. And she listed her title and then her bullets. And to me, it's just slapped together. It's not laid out well, but I like the picture and what she's talking about, you know, how the body ages and stuff and how things can increase age quickly and how you can take care of yourself. It's like, wow, I just want that picture full frame. So I said, make it full frame. You could tell them your bullets. You don't have to list them. And, you know, you can have your title in the footer area. Here's another slide that was used to be a bulleted slide. It's basically just a nice graphic that conveys what you're going to learn today. And then here's a cool bullet. This is taking Post-it notes and turning them into bullets, or they were bullets, turning them into Post-it notes.
That's
and what I
very
loved
cool.
about
That's so cool. I'm sorry to jump in. That is so cool. I like that a lot.
it's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
I actually did this for a guy who was a former executive of Microsoft. And it was hard for him because he was looking for the bullets.
Yeah. That's stunning.
But
that is so stunning.
yeah, and what's cool about this is you're going to be talking in detail about those bullets later in the slides. And again, we're going to show a nice picture that's really speaks 1,000 words. And we would take that Post-it note and put it in the corner of the picture so it related to that bullet. Sure. And you might have 2 or 3 slides that go with that bullet, or that Post-it note in the corner. And then here's the last one. I don't have the before slide, but imagine this slide was a white slide with 4 bullets in it. And this is what I turned it into. And she was talking about, how do you stay in faith? You can't be halfway. And this was an animation actually created in PowerPoint. It does it in PowerPoint, but I found that sometimes PowerPoint hiccups up, does a hiccup with the animation. So I actually created a video. So there's a video embedded into PowerPoint. Okay, so number 3 is we want to tell a story. And we heard all these things about when you're talking nowadays, you want to tell a story. And we like storytelling. And how do you tell stories about boring statistics? Well, if you watch the news nowadays, they create all kinds of story around COVID and hospitalizations and the different strains of virus. The stories are getting strung all the time. And when you listen to that, you might look back at what you're talking about and how can you create a story about it. So I love working with people. If they don't quite have a story, we can work together and formulate that story so it's more engaging, more compelling. And then we mirror it with pictures. So here is a slide I designed for a client. This was their title slide. So it invited them in. This was their walk-in slide if it was a live event, so they know what they're coming into. And you can see the pictures in the background. It's a combination of a couple of pictures, but it really talks about living well in the wireless world and how to beat that invisible stress with ease. They're talking about all those, invisible things that are like G5. I can't explain exactly what she was talking about, but anyway. Then here's another one. So she speaks to parents about problem children and how do you deal with that? And she just had text on the slide. Imagine just text on the slide. And then we threw this picture in there, made it a duotone, but look how it just has such more expression. And then this is one of her detail slides. Like you look at that picture and you could tell the stress she's in, and the child is just not phased at all. She's going to continue talking. I love it. And then here's another slide. Again, a picture is worth 1,000 words, the missing link. You can talk to this and tell a great story. And while they're looking at the picture, they're remembering what you're saying. So that picture embeds in our brain and it mirrors with the story that you're telling, and they're going to remember it years later. So here's an example of a client that I work with. He used to be a former marketing executive for Wendy's, and he worked when they coined the phrase, "Where's the beef?" So some of us older folks, we know that commercial.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Before my time. It's before my time.
Oh, okay. Well, look it up. I think there's one video of it.
I'll call Clara Peller. I was devastated when she died.
Yeah, when he interviewed her, he says that she's the one. She's definitely the one. Yeah. Very, very character, very much a character. But this slide, when I look at slide sorter view and I look at the slides, I see, wow, this is interesting. This is engaging. Not quite sure what they're talking about, but I want to listen. And that makes a great slide deck. If I know exactly what you're talking about when I look at slide sorter view, it's too much. You want to have slides that need you to speak to it. I tell speakers, if you want to put everything on the slide, then start your slides and walk off stage because they don't need you. They can just sit there and read through them. And they're like, what? So you want to give them something to look at, but you also want to speak to it. So this next image, we're talking about know your customer. This is all about marketing, and it's important to know your customer, what your demographic, psychographic, that kind of thing. And as he's talking about it, look how bright this image is. When we look at a photo, we look at a face. Is there a face? Okay. Are there eyes? Are they looking at us? If they're not looking at us, where are they looking at? So we look for eyes. Are they looking at us? If they're not, what are they looking at? So we look at eyes, then we look at what they're looking at. She's looking at his hands. And then after the eyes, we look at hands. What are the hands doing? Because we can formulate so much what's going on in that microsecond of looking at those 3 points. And aside from that, look at this store. Look how neat it is. Look at all the products. Everything's well laid out. It's just, you can swim in this picture is what I say. And then this next one, offer your customers something they value. This tells exactly what it is. You can tell this lady values shopping, and she's got a great face. Her lipstick matches some of the packaging. It's just a great photo. And this is a found photo. These photos are found. They're out there in image banks that are low cost, and there's several image banks that are no cost. So it's just go out there and find some photos that speak to the stories that you're telling. This next one, effective communication is what is remembered and acted upon. This is a bulleted slide. That's the title I just showed you. So I'm going to click through the bullets. So you must entertain, you must engage, you must inform, and you must have a call to action. Now that doesn't look like a bulleted slide. It's fun. Again, where do our eyes go when we first look at this? It goes to the boy on the left because he's looking at us, right? And then we go to the right, we look at this other boy and he's looking back at the left, and then we see their hands and what they're doing and their expressions. There's just so much going on, and it just makes me smile when I see this photo. And then this last one I have, speak the language of the customer. Now this is a white background, and I'm okay with some white backgrounds. It kind of wakes you up and whatever. You just don't want to overburden them with too much white, okay? But look at her eyes, the bright brown eyes, her hair. We took the text and matched the color of her hair, and her teeth. She's got perfect teeth. I love this picture. So that gives you a sense of some of the things that you can do with slides. Very simply, these are very simple slides. Yeah, and yes, I'm a graphic designer, been doing this forever, and it's easy for me to do it, but I'm trying to teach people that you can do it too and have fun with it. Or you can hire someone like me to do it for you. So I'm going to recap. So first we talked about keeping it simple. Really, it's just keep it simple. Find a nice image, put a little text on there if you need it, and tell a story to it. And then number 2, as we said, avoid the bullets. How can we avoid those bullets? Get creative. 1 bullet per slide, maybe. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. I know everyone says, well, I want to list everything out there. And it's like, okay, but then don't sit on it for 5 minutes, go through in detail and talk about them. And then the last one is tell a story. A picture's worth 1,000 words. If you find a picture and you're telling a story to it, or you have several pictures, like I'm clicking through these slides, I'm speaking for 20 minutes and I've already gone through 50 slides. So it's practice and timing and that kind of thing. But that's the strategy of really connecting the images. I call it, we're creating the wow factor, but I call it the Hollywood effect, because when we look at slides, when someone pulls out the projector and puts up slides, we're thinking, oh, movies, like Hollywood. And then we see the slides and we get all disappointed and glum. I was like, how can we make this better? So that's my 3 quick tips to show you how that works. So what would it be like to have that kind of transformation for your next talk? Think about it. If you could have fun with your presentation, engage them, and connect them better to who you are and what you're about, that would make a huge difference. So I hope you learned some valuable things today. Presentations will look different to you now, I promise you. People tell me they never look at slides the same again, and they'll see slides and they'll tell me, oh my God. I had 2 students that were interns with me for a summer, and they were in 11th grade. And after I taught them how to distinguish a good slide, all they could do is call me and tell me and complain about their teacher's slides. And I mean, horrible stuff. So hopefully from this, you might be able to up-level your presentations. So imagine sitting in front of your computer and you're about to work on your slides. and you have a solution that can make it much easier. Well, designing impactful slides so that they can captivate and convert will help you to sell your products and services or ideas better. We want to love our slides, right? That's what it's all about.
That's awesome.
So what
That's gorgeous.
results will
That's
you
great.
produce beyond what's done before now, and that will have you show up as an expert? So what I want to share with you is my free gift on how to access how to create great slides. I created this 60-minute series of videos on how you can create better slides. And it goes through colors, fonts, graphics, how to create a statistic. How do you create a statistic slide? Very important. And then statistics sell. You know, if you can pull statistics out, that has a big impact on people. This normally sells for $197, but I'm giving it to you free. So you just have to go to createslidesthatconvert.com/love.
That's
and you're
awesome.
going to love your slides again.
And we'll have it on the dashboard too, you guys, as well. So it'll be on Bridget's page. So not to worry about that. You can either go to the URL or again, it's on the dashboard to make it easy for you. These are gorgeous, just stunning.
Thank you.
Keep going. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Oh no, I'm done. That's it. That's pretty much it. I finished a little early.
You did fine. You're great. It's funny. We talked before we started about how I have one person that was a purple fanatic and just destroyed the color purple because there's some really nasty colors and shades of purple. I guess it's nasty shades of everything, but I tell you, this is gorgeous. This slide is the color, the drama of the slide, the yellow that goes with it. Just stunning. I got to tell you, for me, waking up at 2:30 in the morning to do this presentation, and for what you did for my eyes are in such gratitude to you. I got to tell you. No, I'm serious. I mean, the quality of what you're saying, what you're demonstrating is so beautiful, and you put time and energy into it, and that does show that you love your audience, and that means a lot. Oh, damn, you took my slides away. They're gorgeous, and to have that experience. I hadn't thought about white slides the way you mentioned it. And, and I've been doing presentations for 39 years or more, maybe. Got to check the calendar again. Things change every year, damn it. But, and I've been a big offender in the past. I mean, a real big offender in the past. And even, as I have new presentations coming up next week, trust me, I'm going to be going back, and I've done a bunch of similar stuff to what you're doing, but you have it finessed so beautifully that it's like, I want what she's having. I've never seen the bullets done graphically the way you have it. That those Post-it note. Oh, that is so cool. That was so cool. And your kid with the call outs, for really creative, really creative. And even your animations, luckily enough, the way you did them here in Zoom came out looking fine. That can be dicey in a lot of cases.
You want to keep it tasteful and simple.
Yeah, sometimes people overdo it with technology because, I have some new stuff and there's too much glam and glitter running around. I really do. And you make a good point about you have 50 slides in 20 minutes. So what? They're not heavy slides. I mean, they may be big files because of the graphics, but so what? You made it so engaging, and I was like, what's next? So you really did create that. And I am a skeptical audience. I will tell you, I'm very, when I see people do slides, and I saw a couple of slides, I saw a couple of slides with Calibri. I hate that font. I want the person who designed that font. I want to take them, tar and feather them, rip them apart. I mean, it's ugly. It's nasty. For God's sakes, at least give me like, it's Calibri, by the way, is the default font that Microsoft puts in Word and PowerPoint and so on. And it just misses everything. It's just nothing to that. And if you like it, I'm sorry. And then you look at Apple, and their default font is Helvetica New, which just has a little bit of extra pizzazz than the regular Helvetica, which is a fantastic font. That's McDonald's font. So seeing those distinctions, if someone puts Calibri, immediately I don't like them. I mean, I'm judgmental. It's like, no, they've given me something that is nasty. They haven't customized it. They've gone with the default, and it's just has nothing.
Yeah.
And what you did, with some of the different fonts and the way you married them together is really classy. So, yeah, I'm raving. I'm just like, she's great. I love her. She's awesome. So I will say number one, I mean, I know I have the link because you gave it to us because we're producing this, but I wrote it down. Literally, I wrote it down like right here because I'm going to that link. So you guys, I recommend that you, if you haven't done it, either go to the dashboard or Creative Slides That Convert. I love that.com/love. And I'm going to go through that.
What's cool about that is you're going to get into my membership site, and it's going to be a paid site soon, but everyone who gets in now, it's free. You have access, and what you have access to is this free training. Plus you have access to my once a month look over my shoulder as I fix your slides office hour.
Oh, I love that. I tell you, I love that stuff. It's like you know, when you're driving down the road and someone's in an accident, you're like, right?
Yes. That's all they show up as looky-loos. No one brings slides. No one has questions. They just want to look.
Yeah. So, it's like when I watch the news of the United States, it's like, I'm so glad I don't live there anymore. It's like, oh, you guys are really messed up. It's like it's watching the train wreck. Sorry, Americans, but I am one of you, and I'm anyway. It'll get better at some point. It'll get better. But yeah, when I see that, Entrepreneur Magazine used to have a guy that did Jerry somebody or other that used to do ad fix ups, the before and after, and it was great to see the before, and great way to learn, by the way, really great way to learn. So if you can get into those events that Bridget is doing, I would recommend it, because that's really where you learn, because you're in the actual real life strategy rather than just watching something in a book past tense type of scenario. I love the experience.
With the live office hours, we get to interact and people can ask questions. And I had one person go, it's too late for you to help me with your slides, but I'm speaking tomorrow, so I'm working on my slides now. How do I do this? And I showed her how to do it. And she sent me the greatest testimonial the next morning and $50 in Venmo.
I love it.
She says, my slides look so much better after 5:59 p.m. yesterday. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Doesn't that make you feel good? When you can have that definite impact on somebody. That's so cool.
Well, I've seen so many audiences take out, you go to these big events, sales meetings, they spend lots of money on it, and they spend a lot of money on the banners outside and the badges and all that stuff, but they don't put any mind share to the slides, the content on the slides. And it blows my mind, because what is our mind share on most of the day? Yeah. It's on those slides. And so I'm very passionate about, abolishing the boring slide, creating this win-win situation with the audience and the speaker. And, whether I do your slides for you or whether I teach you how to do them yourself, it doesn't matter. We're abolishing this boring slide and creating a new experience of how presentations can be conveyed.
You've done great. And we got to land the plane in about 15 seconds here. So okay. I know. And I'm really enjoying this. And I'd love watching. My eyes are grateful to you. So ladies and gentlemen, Bridget Callahan, check her out. Go ahead, grab her free gift. I got to tell you, massive value there. I'm going to grab it, and I've seen a lot of stuff. So I'm telling you, you got my attention, and that means a whole lot. Bridget, thanks so much for being with us today. I can't wait to do more with you and learn more about what you're doing and see more. And you may have just gotten yourself a client today from me as well.
Oh boy. So, all right. Thank you, Ken.
Thanks so much.
I stand for love. Do you?
Hey, this is Captain Lou, and I stand for love, baby. Do you?
Do you? Do you?
Do you? Yes. Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you?
wow, what do you do? And if I say, well, I mean, words have energy. So if I say, well, I manage the 31 iterative steps of the branding continuum, first of all, you'll be asleep. But if I say, when it comes down to it, I put rocket fuel in your branding gas tank, just the words alone have a different energy. And so what if the words that you use to describe the brand to get credit were all congruent with your heart? Yeah. Okay. And seriously, I mean, people don't think about that. Well, we need a brand. They think a logo, you know. Oh yeah. Well, I could talk for a week about logos. You want the 5 acid test? Says what it does. Easy to say, easy to spell, easy to remember, has legs. I could talk for a week. You ready? Let's go. I mean, I've been there. You want to talk about trademark? Want to talk about, you know, trade dress? I know things that people like couldn't even forget because they don't know, because I've been doing this for so long. But that's not the point. The point is, you think branding is about business and money. What if it's about impact and building a platform with your vehicle that you've been given as a gift so that you can step into your purpose and be even more abundant and create layers of legacy that you can pass on to the world and to your family and to others? It's like, branding? Yeah. Welcome to my world. What a blessing. And so, how do people get a feeling for that? Ken, do you mind if I mention the free website with the little, you know, 1, 2, 3 minute branding question videos?
Love it. And okay, by the way,
so
and let me also
yeah.
mention that those links are also going to be in the resource area on our dashboard. So if you go to worldloveweek.com/dashboard, we have it there as well. Or if it's not there the second, it will be. So so we have it there for you also.
Well, I'm going to do a little bit of a surprise. What's on that list is
surprises.
It's a kind of a Valentine's Day bonus. Little ready.
Could you do that? Could you do that again? Yeah, do that again. That was nice. Yeah. Okay.
So sorry, old school, thebrandyoubillbecome.com. Thebrandyoubillbecome.com.
I love that.
I mean, the whole brand. Okay, but not just the business brand, the whole brand, like why you're here. Got it? Okay. Thebrandyoubillbecome.com. That gives you access to, I think there are 8 little 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, total 18 minutes videos answering really common branding questions with straight talk. Yes, it is I. My mother was an English teacher. It's a predicate nominative. It is I answering them with no airy fairy language like Ken was talking about. There's no essence talk. Okay, there's just straight answers about branding questions, including the last one that says, why does Rich Brands only want to work with people determined to make an impact on others' lives in the world? So that's free. Go get them. And to get them, I'll get your email. And then anyone who just signs up for those and gets that, I'll get an email. I am going to send you a second gift. And it is a free ticket to a half-day event that I'm doing on the 27th of February called Branding You with Impact. And it is a charged event, but I will gift it to you. It's middle of the day if you're on the West Coast, Pacific time, it's 11 to 2:33, something like that. East Coast, it would be 8 to 12 of the United States. Sorry, because I know we've got people all over the world. So for the first time in your life, you come to that, you will hear and see and feel branding as a process that makes you more significant and enables you to step from your well-branded business platform into your purpose with ease. You'll see what it is, how it works, when you'll see how work becomes love and when branding becomes God's work. And I would love to get that to you. So www.thebrandyoubillbecome, sign up. When I get your email, I will send you the gift of the free ticket for that event.
That's awesome. And for those of you that watch this on a recording in a year or 6 months or whatever, sorry.
Well, I'll come up with something else.
Timing is of the essence.
But you'll start with the videos and you'll watch those and you'll either go, you know, I love this guy straight talk, or you'll go, I want some essence. Where's the essence? And you're not my guy. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe
know,
you're
it,
not ready.
the whole
But if
piece
you're
of
on this event, you're probably ready. So it's like, let's not kid around.
that's true. I mean, here's the thing. I like to be pragmatic about what we do, and I teach that way when I do my Pride event, for example, which I know you've been at.
Great event.
I thank you. I'm. It's great because of the people that show up, and the brand that comes with it is also the brand of transparency. So my whole perspective, and why I'm so happy to have you here, is that when we talk about branding, we talk about making an impact, and we talk about just doing business per se, when you come from truth and you come from your real purpose for hopefully serving your community, and I'm just not talking about your customers, which should be fundamental. It's serving your collaborators, serving your joint venture partners, serving your suppliers, serving even the Uber driver, the people that you're in contact with. If you don't,
Just a choice.
yeah, is recognizing that you can't do what you do without everybody in that entire food chain, that entire supply chain, if you will. And that's critical. I mean, if you don't win the scenario, and yeah, you want to negotiate your best terms and your best deal and everything, but when you do it with integrity, and if you goof, we've had a lot of with this event, for example, we've had all sorts of fun technical challenges, opportunities to learn where things haven't worked, and we've had to pivot in a lot of ways over this past few days. But when you do it with the accountability that goes with it, people love that. Because
so I did want to make sure, I know we have a very little time, so I want to say where I'm going with this instead of starting a story. Here's where I'm going. It's going to end with saying the world seems to work against us until clarity comes.
Great.
And then things begin aligning because we make them align. So that's where I'm going. And I worked with Lisa Nichols with Motivating the Teen Spirit. Lisa's from the movie The Secret, and I worked with her for 3.5 years. What a God blessing she is to the universe. And she used to do, she taught emotional healthiness skills to teenagers, and talk about things like negative self-talk and the way, you were born perfect, but then things happen and you start, hearing things, oh, you're not that good. Oh, let your sister do it. Oh, you suck at this. You'll never amount to whatever. Right. And you start loading stuff, and then you start believing it. And then so you go and get a good job. So you're going to prove that you're going to get this job. And then you get addicted to your job. Guilty. And then you realize your job's not why you're here. And the moment you choose, you know what, I'm going to reshape my life. Like, I resigned a career to reshape my life. That's pretty rare, and I was able to do it, so thank goodness. But most people can't. But when that clarity comes and you have something to give, and now everything is based on what I see when I thrive at that, and everything lines up, and the language aligns, because what comes out of our mouth creates the world. And so when the language aligns, and language is extremely important, the language of a brand that's consistent, and then it transfers energy. When all that aligns, the world aligns. And so really it feels like the world's working against us until clarity comes. What a blessing that all of us get to help others step into clarity.
Yeah, that's
and,
true.
That just
with all the one woman who was on here before, with their heart and with their energy, with what their brand is, but they think it's just a business, and it's going to go beyond that. It's like it's going to be hard to get rid of me. Just be forewarned. But literally, I had a woman write me yesterday, a client. She goes, "You're stuck with me." I'm like, praise God. I'm like, okay. All right, go.
I was gonna jump in and ask. You've been talking about question of clarity and the impact-driven statement. It's quite interesting actually, but I feel like I've seen you at the Pride event, and I've been there as well. And what I've noticed, including myself, is the fact that when we are trying to message our branding, that messaging part, sometimes we are lost in the clarity. And so my question was around, how do you help your client and to navigate to get that clarity toward their messaging and around their whole brand?
It's an excellent question, and I'll give you a simple answer, but I could talk for a year, but I'll give you a simple answer. there are 7 steps to impact-driven branding. And I don't have I'm preparing a landing page to offer an impact-driven branding blueprint on some advertising that we're doing, which says, here are the 7 steps, get started. So there's steps, there's just steps. One is imagine your brand thriving, writing down the who's and what's of the impacts, and then asking yourself, well, in order to make that impact, what must the brand become? Must it be technology centric? Must it be loving? Must it be, aggressive? Must it be strategic? It's like you ask yourself, and the process extracts what's necessary to make those impacts. It just lines up because of the process. And so it's not difficult. It's rigorous. It's not difficult. And so how I help is I facilitate the process, listen deeply I'm a certified trainer of neurolinguistics programming. So I listen with those ears. If they say this is a problem, I usually say, I think to myself, well, that's the presenting problem. Let's get to the real problem. But so I facilitate it. I even do it in groups and then we'll break out and people will help each other speed through the process. It becomes something that you can do. So I'm writing a book, which I can't hold up. It's called Impact Driven Branding, 7 Steps to Ensure Your Brand Impacts People's Lives and the World. It's steps. And there's a workbook. It's like, so the event that I'm going to give people to is kind of the what and why. The how event is a workshop in March on the 18th. That's like, well, we take one impact statement and you're working the whole way through the process and you look down and you go, wow, it's a process. Like I totally get it and I'm doing it. Yeah. Do you need a branding guru? No. Hallelujah. I mean, so everybody thinks they need a branding guru. Hey, that's why I'm writing the book. So it's easier than people would think. And it's just a process.
Thank you. That answered my question pretty well. I'm pretty sure that book, when it come out, it will be a hit because with like you said, clarifying that message is very important. And if there's a step to guide you through that, then
if somebody sends me their email to rich@richbrands.org, just sends me an email, put me on the list for the book. rich@richbrands.org, and that includes you. rich@richbrands.org, just say, put me on the list for the book. Believe me, you'll get an invitation. It should publish, I'm thinking April. It's mid-April.
Okay. Well, awesome. Are you guys there? Okay. I think we went to silence for a second. We are at it's time to say goodbye. I feel like singing the time to, but we're not going to do that because I'm not a singer. Rich, I'm thrilled to have had you with us for this segment here. I know you're going to be back as one of our segment hosts over the next few days.
Oh, I'd love that. That would be really great.
I will coordinate that with you. I couldn't get you on today because we needed to make sure we dialed it in ourselves so we know it was going to work and not going to work. So I want to thank you very much for being with us, and you and I'll be in touch to get those details.
And I'm here to support what you're doing. I love what you're doing, and thank you too. Thank you both of you for hosting this and creating World Love Week. God bless you.
And to you too. Hang out with us if you like, or hang out in the Facebook group, whatever. I'm going to bring Madeline on in a second here because she is amazing. Go ahead. I see your fingers. Go ahead.
And remember, now is the time to define the brand you will become.
Amen, brother. Thank you. Good work. Awesome. Thrilled to have you. We're gonna bring on. I love this man. He's awesome. And look also at his backdrop as to how he's very cleanly and clearly indicated who he is. I love it.
Oh, temper tantrums. 10 years of age, 11 years of age. So I had a young boy and who actually threw a temper tantrum in Walmart, and his mother was very angry with him as she brought him into the session. And we talked about it, and I first clearly set limits that You know, it's been okay until now to have a temper tantrum when you're frustrated, but after next Monday, that's no longer acceptable. So you're just at the limit now. You can still do till Monday, but not after next Monday. So, and when you're frustrated, what do? You take care of yourself. Do you go read a book, listen to music, dance, punch a ball? What do you do? Whatever it is, that's good. And what if you wanted that poster so badly? How could you go about getting it? What could you do? Let's use that anger for you to figure out what you could do. So we talked that maybe he could offer to do some work to earn the money. Maybe he could go talk to neighbors and help them out to earn money. Whatever it was, he could then come up with the money and autonomy, because he would then be on his own to purchase that poster, in the sense that it would have been his own doing, his own autonomy, rather than depending on his mother. So let's move on to the really tough one, and that's the middle one of the 5 pieces, and that's behavior management. So this is about helping teens to use the energy from their emotion, exactly, to choose to resist an impulsive reaction, like throwing a temper tantrum, in favor of choosing a response that takes into account their goals, small and large, considers their needs and the path they really want to take. So this boy really wanted that poster, but he didn't have any resources on how to get it besides throwing a temper tantrum. So it was, of course, high time for him to learn that he did indeed have resources and that he could take advantage of them. So it's also important to acknowledge that for all of us, this is the biggest challenge, but also the biggest boon when we master it. But it takes a lifetime. People who are successful are those who keep their cool and choose their behavior. Think about our current vice president, who was described as unflappable, a great compliment to her when she was a senator. So how do you do that? How do you get that across? Of course, in my books, there are all kinds of exercises that train the teens to learn those skills, but I'm just going to use the old days example. Long before computers and other modern items, we were told to count to 10. Why? Well, take a moment to regroup. It's still the best advice that allows a person to listen to their gut and consider choices and personal goals. And here's an example here, which seems to have disappeared. No, it's right here.
I forgot about counting to 10.
Sorry.
I totally forgot about counting to 10. And in fact, I was told, I have a friend of mine who I've been working with for years as a coach. And I had to make an agreement that I wouldn't do anything impulsive business-wise, not till I counted to 10, but for 5 days. And I had a 5-day cooling off period. And if the idea was still good after 5 days, we would do it. Yeah, and I haven't exactly followed that, but it's a really good idea.
5 days is good. I had a 3-day example that I may go in if we have more time later, where I took 3 days to cool off and then get the situation right.
Well, it's funny you're bringing me back to a memory when I was in my first relationship, way back when I was 23 years old, I think it was. And I said, so here's the deal. It's going to be like a rental agreement. You have to give 30 days notice. And so we have a fight, because at that time, everyone was breaking up, like, have a fight, break up, have a fight, break up. And I was like, I don't want that. I want something stable. So I said, okay, so here's the deal. We have a fight. You want out, you give me 30 days notice. And so every now and then we would give each other 30 days notice. And of course, the next morning, it was like we retracted it. But at least we had that ability that, okay, we were able to say it and then get through it. So you make a really good point, about that cooling off period.
So that is a wonderful example. And if I may use it sometime in the future.
You can even do it with that attribution. It's fine.
Oh, well, no. Okay, thank you. But I would certainly refer to you as my teacher. So I'm going to use an example here of a young man that I named Jason and who appears in the book as an example. And I was going to read it, but time is of the essence, and so I'm not going to read it. But it was going to give you an example of the way I write very down to earth and directly with the youth, because these books are addressed to them directly.
Nice.
And,
we have about 6 minutes, if that, or 6 or 7 minutes. So if that works for you, then feel free.
I thought I had about 8 minutes.
You do, but I was just trying to pad it.
Thank you. So Jason, this was in a shelter for teenagers who had either run away from home or been brought in by their parents, and they were all under the ages of the Children's Protective Services, where I was volunteering as a counselor. And so Jason was 17 years old, and he came in very angry and agitated, and I invited him, not told him, not asked him, but invited him to sit down with me and maybe be able to let me know what was going on. His girlfriend was so I found out his girlfriend was in the hospital, but they wouldn't let him talk to her. He had called twice, and they said no, that was impossible, and he had been so furious that he slammed the phone down and was crying, and he didn't know how to deal with it. And so I let him, take his time to settle down and narrate it. And I said, well, maybe there is a way that you still could get to talk to her, since you clearly care so much about her. And how could you go about it instead of being kind of rude and informal? Maybe you could sound, more quiet, use a quiet voice and introduce yourself and make the request using her full name and sound, almost like an adult. I didn't say that, of course, but maybe that would really help. So he actually sat with me, a total stranger, and was willing to talk to me about this and then rehearse it with me. We did phone call, and in the days when we put our phone to the ear. Anyway, and he went and called on one of the available phones, and in the shelter, and succeeded. First time around, he succeeded. So we talked about the value of the energy from the anger, and also, and not with him, but with the readers, I talk about the value of anger. So emotions give us a lot of energy, but we can use it to make good choices. We can use it to reach our goals rather than just express our frustration. And this is something that a school counselor could certainly engage a distressed student as well, and I suspect that they do. So the next important thing are the pro-social, what I call pro-social skills, and this sort of come automatically as teens become more self-aware and empowered to be taking charge of themselves. They learn to respect themselves and others, to provide and demand sincere connection, to demand respect, avoid manipulation or intimidation, peer pressure, or even bullying. And at the same time, they learn to refrain from doing the same. So they learn to attend to their own needs, to stay on track, and avoid being distracted from the goal. So this is what Jason was learning, to practice those skills, to keep the goal in mind and to work on the skills necessary to achieve that goal, to being polite and patient. And optimally, eventually to treat himself with respect, because he was entitled to talk to his girlfriend. He just needed to believe that he was. So the last piece of the 5 pieces is insightful decision making. And now You know, some of you may be laughing, and it takes forever for all of us to learn how to make sound decisions that use critical thinking and self-knowledge. In the book, I actually use, believe it or not, what I call yes-no decision trees, where you have a decision to make, you have a yes path and you have a no path. And if all works out, the yes path leads to yes, I can do it. But everywhere you get a choice to yes or no. And it looks like a tree. I use it horizontally with big labels. And I think it works. I also have demonstrate one for a decision I had to make, which I also put on YouTube as a verbal demonstration. So these are the 5 skills that promote self-confidence, allows teams to believe in themselves and their dreams, feel empowered to pursue them, and become resilient in the face of obstacles and challenges. So I am going to show you the book. I'm coming back here. I am going to show you not only the title. By the way, this is what one of my young patients said. I want to be me, but I don't know who I am. And she gave me permission to use the title. I think she forgot.
Her eyes are amazing. Her eyes are amazing. Wow.
So this is not the student, of course. This is a stock photo. My artist is my son, Mark Sawaya. He gets credit at the end of the book and on the back cover. And so that's a guidebook, which is already out on Amazon. This is a prototype of the workbook, where the same girl is in the middle, but now she's got a whole bunch of friends that she's working with. And it's I Want to Be Me workbook. And to give you guys a taste of what this is like, what the books are like, my free gift to you is an I Want to Be Me introduction to the guidebook. And let's see if I can show that, to the guidebook and workbook. It's free if you go to my website, well, not my website, the book's website. And it's got about 80 pages. It has a lot of the instruments, introductory material. It's got the code to get more instruments online, to have access to more instruments online. And it has a sample chapter from each book, so you can see how I go about doing this teaching. And it has very detailed tables of contents so that you can see just what I cover very methodically. Is it okay, Ken, if I give the website?
Well, what we can, but I'll make it easy for everybody. We should have a link on the dashboard so people can just go right to our World Love Week dashboard. They can download it immediately. Because typically you can feel free and deliver it now if you like, but just so all of you know, the link for that will be on the dashboard, so you don't have to worry about it. Go ahead.
Yes, I saw it actually. It looked very good. So if you look at what I put after my name, I put I Want to Be Me. So it's I Want to Be Me without an exclamation point. I Want to Be Me .org.
Oh, cool. That's a great name.
It's an easy one.
It is an easy one.
Go and you sign for my email list and you get the freebie book.
Fantastic.
It's a download that you can get immediately.
Fantastic.
And it will be there either forever or until like my previous speaker said, either forever or until the next gift comes along.
There you go. Exactly. Beautiful. Madeline, I am so honored to have you with us today. You are a gem, and we've got to land this plane right this minute because the next broadcast is starting like right now.
Okay.
I love you to pieces. Take care. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy World Love Week. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Joe.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
So Ken, back to you for now.
I love you. That sort of was redundant, I guess. But let me ask you, we have a few minutes, so we can play for a little bit, and Zor, you can pop in as well. Especially if my bandwidth is being wacky, because I felt like we were playing walkie-talkie delay earlier. I love it when that happens. So if we're going to take the essence of what we're discussing in terms of love and sharing that and apply it into a business scenario where you don't sound airy-fairy, where you have an audience that isn't necessarily on the same conscious wavelength as we are, because there's so many that are just into head and haven't, they've missed their connection. How do you add that piece into environments where people don't necessarily equate it? Whether it's a scientific community where, where they're all quantitative versus essency. I thought maybe let's address that where folks don't yet have that connection and don't know how to play with it.
It's such a great question, Ken. And, as a spiritual life coach, I help conscious people build businesses every day. And so love is literally the energy of expansion. Fear is the energy of constriction. So quite simply, and I've done a lot of work with the Heart Math Institute, is scientifically proven that as you work with the energy of love, what would you love for your business to expand in? What area? Greater customer service, greater ability to build a better product, serve your clients on a greater level. All of those are where it is that you tapping into a greater, higher vision for your business to expand. It really isn't a lot. It's not really different from even where you want to expand, even in your personal life, deepening your relationships, having greater, more vibrant health. But it's really, how does that feel? Does it feel, because we have the greatest internal barometer built right in, it's called our nervous system. So if you're working on building or growing your company and you're saying, we want to expand in our, we could do this, we could get better at emailing, we could get better at, social media, we could build a bigger program. If it feels like it's aligned with your vision and it feels expansive and aligned with serving more of your customer base and then you're and you're moving in the right direction. When it feels constricting and it feels like, we're just like, not really feeling it. If it's not a really feeling it, that's a not it.
Yeah.
So
yes, that's true.
and then you can quantitate.
Yeah. There's that old saying, and we're having delays, so it's just unfortunate, but unless it's a hell yes, it's a no. It's got to be that whole connection there. Yeah. Yeah, exactly right. Tell me, we only have a few minutes left. Tell me, how do you work with clients? What do you bring to the equation for someone that wants to work with you?
It's a great question too. I have, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I have a website, janetgrace.love.
I love that.
And I also have a free gift there too for all of your listeners today. Yes, janetgrace.love. Is that awesome? It's fabulous. Brand new. We're just rebuilding my brand. It just fit so elegantly, and it was a hell yes.
Yeah.
It was a hell yes. So, but on my Facebook page, you can have a one-on-one call with me. I call them my Purposeful Life Call, because if you're on purpose, you're living in the energy of love. So you can call, and I have a lot of programs, 90-day programs, year-long coaching programs, VIP days. I have a lot of sacred retreats all over the world. And when the world opens up again, we'll be doing more retreats and doing my sacred love journeys. So lots of different ways to stay connected to me. So thank you, Ken.
Yeah, it'll be nice to have the whole idea of a sacred love journey, easy for me to say, sacred love journeys. That's awesome. Right now, the only journey that we've been having is like here at the grocery store, because we're not going anywhere. But we are. Look at this. We're global right now. So we have Australia, we have the Philippines, we have the US, we have a lot of people coming in from Canada as well, and that's just here in this Zoom room, then on Facebook. So it's really miraculous that we're able to actually, the baby just came into the room. See, now I know we're complete. I've had some people, I've had some people
Yeah.
say to me, "Oh no, forgive the cat." I'm like, "What do you mean forgive the cat?" I love it when pets and children and and stuff come in the room, because it just allows you to connect with your heart. It's pretty exciting. So,
Yeah.
Janet, I am thrilled to pieces to have you with us. And I wish we had more time, but I tell you, we've got a full plate. Hang out with us if you like, whether either here in our little broadcast area or in Facebook. And by the way, everything that all the goodies that Janet has available for us, they're on the dashboard. So you'll be able to access it that way as well. And VIPs, you'll get anything that she's got after the event's over as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I just want to encourage anyone who's feeling like they really want to connect more to their heart. My 7-day self-love journey, that is one of my free gifts, is 7 videos that are to help you really get in and deepen your relationship with your own heart, and deepen ways that you can bring more love into your life, that then of course ripples out into every area of your life.
Awesome. I'm so grateful to have you with us. Ladies and gentlemen, the incredible Janet Grace. Yay. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you all. Happy Love Day. Happy Love Week. I know I'll be seeing you in this space again. Much love.
Back to you. I love it. Excellent.
I stand for love. Do you?
Hey, this is Captain Lou, and I stand for love, baby. Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Yes. Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you?
Email didn't work. What was I doing wrong? Why couldn't I get clients? Why couldn't I get customers? And it was simple. I wasn't being authentic. I thought I had to sell. See, selling and closing are 2 different things. You want to close. You want to close. One more time. Selling and closing are 2 different things. I don't want to sell you on anything. I want you to sell yourself. I want to close you on it. I want to close you on why it is that you're selling yourself, why it is that you should buy this product. Does it help you? Will it help you? If I firmly believe that my offer can help you in your position, it's not a sell. I don't have to convince you of anything, because you and I both know that this could potentially help you. And if not, I'm not going to spend my time trying to convince you. That's the issue that we face in the sales process. Is people want to convince. Like I had a guy who popped in my inbox the other day, didn't even build, and we're going to go in the stages of like how do we sell someone effectively, right? Didn't even like connect. There was no authenticity. It was just, hey, here's my services, here's my price, here, book a call with me. A, do you know if I even need your services? B, what makes you different than everyone else? C, why should I book a call with you? And the answer to these are simple. Rapport. What does rapport mean? Rapport is simply the action of establishing connection and building trust and credibility in each other. So I'll give you an example of this. All right. If I'm building rapport, I'm asking you questions. I'm listening to you. I'm truly genuine and bought into what it is that you're saying. So how can we do this in a way? We don't have ad spend. We don't have money online to spend on Facebook ads. We're just starting out our business. We've got our offer. We've got our fulfillment team, but how do we sell it? This is where we get into something called organic prospecting. Write it down if you haven't heard of it. Organic prospecting. This is the act of reaching out to people, cold DM, direct message, reaching out to them, starting conversations. Where do I do with that? My friends list is filled with people that I don't even know what I do, right? This is where you have to start to expand your network. Your network is your network. This is where you really have to start to expand your network. It's like Facebook has a group for everything. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could find a group for everything on Facebook. You're going to be able to find most of your prospects in the groups of what it is that you're selling. If you're selling weight loss group on Facebook. If you're selling, agency stuff, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, digital marketers on Facebook, agencies on Facebook. You can find any customer that you're looking for, but how do we get them on the phone with us to close them? Got to build a rapport. How do we build a rapport? You got to reach out to them, message them. It's as simple as this. This same opener has made me 6 figures online. Of course, it's not a voice drop. It's writing in the text, but I'll tell you how it goes. I'm going to use Ken. Ken's not here, but I'm going to pick on Ken. Hey, Ken, what's going on? I saw you in the GrooveFunnels community. I loved your post. If you don't mind me asking, what is it that you do? What's going to happen? They're going to respond back. Hey, Alex, thanks for reaching out, man. Yeah, I'm actually a coach in the digital space. So now I get to build that rapport with them based off of what they do. Awesome. How long have you been a coach for? Man, like maybe the last 3 or 4 years. Very cool. What would you say, inspired you to do that? So now I'm really building rapport. Now we're building trust with each other. And through that process, I'm able to dig into their pain points. What do I mean by pain points? Pain points, the things that are bothering them about their business. Because again, they're letting me know if I'm prospecting, it's weight loss. I mean, if I'm prospecting in a group for weight loss is their problem. If I'm prospecting in a group for marketing is their problem. There's some kind of issue that they're having, and that's their pain. And you're just digging into it by asking them questions, listening, and responding back with you can help them with the solution. Eventually, you'll build enough rapport to get them on a booked call. And then from that booked call, you're going to close them. So again, it's not just being scripted. It's not just being salesy. It's being personable. It's being authentic. It's being your true and highest authentic self. That is how you're going to generate more appointments. So with that being said, right, let's go ahead and backtrack here, right? Arbitrage. We have been able to find overlooked, underutilized opportunities to now be able to craft out an offer. So we have an offer. Now we package it. Our packaged offer, we now position. So now it sounds good to the market. The market knows what he wants. The market knows what they want. So then we go and we capitalize on that. Now that we know what the market wants, we're positioned, we have an offer, we have something to sell. Now it all becomes about selling. Going to Facebook groups, finding the people, messaging them, reaching out to them, saying, hey, what's going on? Nice to meet you. Converting that into a booked appointment and closing them. Cool. Got it. We following the same page so far? I know I'm breezing through this, right? So now, you got the closes, you got, that now how do you take your company from, let's say you just sold, you got your first client. It's a $5,000 client. Because again, you want to make $100,000 a year. Like you can sell low ticket. You can sell that's where we get in the argument, like e-com, right? E-com, you're tapping into like more volume. So you're selling lower margin products. What does it mean by lower margin products? Well, break it down to you like this. The product, the Monster Energy drink at wholesale cost me $1. I'm going to sell it for $1.50. My margin is 50 cents. I made 50 cents on that. So with e-com products, you're dealing with, lower margin, higher volume. There's still a lot of money to be made in e-com, but it's a lot more lower margin products, right? So then you get into a model of drop shipping. Drop shipping, you're essentially, licensing out that product and then reselling it. Drop servicing is doing the same thing with services. So e-com, lower margins, more volume. Services, this is where we get into higher ticket. Because we're charging a service, we can now charge higher ticket. There's so many services. Me, myself, we sell a $100,000 offer. We give you 3 e-com stores. We build you 3 done-for-you e-com stores and for $100,000, right? There's people buying that because we have a market for it, because we positioned it, because we packaged it, and because we know how to sell it, right? So with that being said, when you are able to offer a service to someone, now you can charge something high ticket. And let's say you're trying to generate $100,000 a year, your first $100,000 a year. When you're selling something at $5,000 an offer, how many of those do you really need to sell in 365 days? Oh, wait, 20. If you sell something for $5,000 over the course of 365 days, all you have to do is make 20 sales. And if the only thing stopping you from making a sale is you're reaching out to people on social media and networking and actually taking the massive action to putting your offer out there, then the only thing holding you back is you. Everything else just requires research. What do you want to sell? What do you want to position? What do you want to offer? What do you want to package? The rest is just taking the massive action to go out there and sell it. So by the end of this call, I'm going to have something super, super special for you. It's going to allow you to tap into all of this. All right. Whether you want to sell e-com, whether you want to sell digital agency, it's phenomenal. It's revolutionary. It's life changing. And it's something that's going to be launched here in April, I believe. So you guys are getting like a first insider access look at what this is. So let me backtrack. Okay. I'm not going to get myself excited here. I mean, if you see like a black eye, it's because I still am an active martial artist. Okay. Maybe you guys didn't even notice, but I still am an active martial artist. I do train on the daily. So if you're like, why does he have a black eye? There you go. So now we know how to sell. How do we go from, I just closed my first $5,000 offer to 6-figure company. All right. Let me tell you this. There's no magic sauce in how someone goes from $10,000 to $20,000, $20,000 to $50,000, $50,000 to $100,000, $100,000 to $1 million. I'm going to say this because I'm super passionate about this right now. The cryptocurrency craze, right? Don't get me wrong. Bitcoin, like it's pumping and it's at like $47,000 from where it was at like 3K earlier in the year. But people don't understand that they can get those same kind of returns by reinvesting their money in their business. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean, if you made $5,000 and you go and you spend all of it, how much did you make? You made zero. But if you made $5,000 and you reinvest $3K into ads, which are going to get you more customers coming into your funnel and now book more calls to generate more closes, now that $3,000 maybe makes you $20,000. It's all about reinvesting, compounding your reinvestment. If you were to just reinvest right back into your business, you'd be at 6 figures in no time, right? Nobody likes to invest. It's like, let me take that back. Let me take that back. The people who are serious about their business know they need to invest and love to invest. The people who aren't really serious, they don't like to invest. So it's like, how much are you willing to grow your business by reinvesting? How much are you willing to part with? Because remember, you're not losing any money. You're reinvesting, and all of this is tax deductible at the end of the day. So like, where are you reinvesting your profits? Are you reinvesting them back into marketing? And this is where you have to be able to diagnose your process. This is where you have to be able to diagnose your process. So I'm going to get real intricate here in a second, but it's all about reinvesting. You start selling, you start making money, you're generating that revenue. Where are we reinvesting it? Cool. It's awesome. We made $20,000. If you're making $20,000 a month and you go buy a Lambo, you're not going to grow your business. And then you're going to be sitting at yourself wondering why you can't sustain this lifestyle, because you didn't reinvest. So reinvest, 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 reinvest. That's how we get to where it is that we want to be. That's how we go from 0 to 10K, 10K to 50, 50 to 100, and then from 100K to 7 figures, simply through compounding our reinvestment. Let me take a sip of water here. So let's recap, and then we'll dive into digital ecosystems here. What is a digital ecosystem? I'm glad you asked. All right. So came here, you want to start an online business, or maybe you wanted to optimize what you were doing. You understood that you needed to tap into arbitrage, recognizing, right, overlooked, underutilized opportunities. Once you've been able to do that, you know what's in the market, you know what the market wants, you go find a white label fulfillment partner who's going to be able to fulfill what it is that you do, unless you can do absolutely all of it and you're Superman. All right. Once you have that white label fulfillment partner, now you package, market, sell, position it accordingly. So now you know you have something sweet that the market wants. Once you do that, now it's all about the sales process. Once you reach out to people, you generate that sale, reinvest the revenue. Now you begin to start to grow at scale. Okay. Now, digital ecosystems. Let's talk about it. I'm going to share my screen here. Let me share. Cool. So this map that you're looking at, don't let it confuse you. And I'm going to go over this so you guys understand this in layman's term. This is my digital ecosystem. This allows me to know how I'm getting customers, where they're coming in, how we're following up with them. Like all this literally is a mind map in my mind to let me know where are my customers coming in, how are we following up with them, how are they getting on the phone, how is my sales team handling it, how are we onboarding them into the process. Okay, so if you're like wanting to start a digital or if you're wanting to start an online business, or you're wanting to optimize what you currently have, excuse me, you need to have a couple of areas dialed in. And this is all you really need. Okay. This is any digital platform. This is any process, right? All right. I'll break it down like this. You need traffic. All right. You need traffic on the front end. This is where you get your points of entry. This is where people are going to see you. Then you need something evergreen that's going to allow you to scale your time. You can't reach out to everyone, who comes into your process. But when you have a funnel or when you have landing pages, this allows you to duplicate yourself. This allows you to duplicate yourself and position the offer on a landing page, collect information, and fulfill that offer, completely automated. So again, we've got our traffic. I'm going to zoom in on this so you guys understand. All right. And if you notice here, all you'll see is this is like Facebook Messenger, my email list, LinkedIn posts, text messages, chatbot, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, podcast. You can make 6 figures with just one source of traffic. All right, just one source of traffic, you can make 6 figures. Now, what happens? That traffic sees an ad, they come in, they click a button, and now they're put into my funnel sequence. So many different funnel sequences you can use. And what is a funnel sequence? I'm just going to go here, aoelite.com. This is my website, by the way. If you want to come in, you want to book an appointment, feel free to go to aoelite.com, book an appointment with me. I am happy to sit with you and strategize. Okay. So now they're going to come to my website. They're going to go through and they're going to be like, oh, okay, cool. They either want to opt in or not. So they're going to be able to now apply for a done for you accelerator call. And what this is going to do is it's going to kick them over to my calendar. And now I can schedule them 100% completely automated. I didn't have to ask them, hey, what time works for you? Oh, that time works great for me. No, they get to go in here and based off of my availability, they can go in, book a call on a time that works best for them. They want to do 11:30 a.m. Cool, confirm. They would go in, they would fill out their information. And then from there, they would be on my schedule into a closing call. That's all this is. Literally what you saw just now, right? Granted, we didn't come through an ad. Traffic goes to website. What happens is they get on the calendar, and then once they're on the calendar, they hop on a Zoom call, right? And they either purchase or don't. All right. So I'm not gonna break into the intricacies of all of this, right? I'm just gonna show you this at face value. So we've got our traffic, we've got our funnel sequences. These are our landing pages, right? Now, 9 out of 10 times. All right, let me say not even 9 out of 10. Let's say 30%. 30% is a good number. 30% of people will most likely no-show. These people who book calls or these people who, opt into your offer, they'll most likely no-show. So how do we engage these people who no-show? They came in, they wanted to book a call with us. They got on the call, they scheduled the call, but they never showed up. Well, what happens is this is where you really have to rely on the process of automating, delegating, and eliminating. ADE. Automate, delegate, eliminate. Automate. What can you put in automation to run on autopilot? What can you delegate, give to other people? And what can you eliminate? What's no longer serving you that you can just throw out? All right. So with that being said, we've got our traffic sources, we've got our funnel sequences. So let's tap into our follow-up. Our follow-up is going to be completely automated. Our follow-up is how we retouch with people who have come into our process, but maybe they fell out. So this is where in everybody, if you go look at your emails, you've got email campaigns galore. You got people writing emails galore. Now, if I can completely automate my follow-up and connect with each and every single one of my prospects who have entered my ecosystem, okay, then I know that I can put together a sequence over the course of the next 30 days. I spread it out every other day, right? If I do an email every 2 days, that's only 15 emails that I have to write. That's a 30-day sequence. And build trust and credibility through telling a story through each one of these emails. Day 0, sequence intro. Day 2, company info. Day 4, my PR articles. So now I'm able to build trust with them on the back end without ever speaking to them. And of course, in these emails, we're pointing them to the booking link. We're pointing them to other offers, right? We're making it sweet. We're making it enticing. So at the end of day 30, I can reach back out to them via phone call, say, hey, man, wanted to follow up with you. How's it going? Oh, hey, Alex, cool. I've been seeing your stuff. That is the power of automated follow-up. So again, traffic, funnel sequences, automation. Now, this is where it gets good. Without this, we don't make any money. The sales team. So we book calls. Cool. Call gets booked, right? Now, call gets booked. We obviously need our sales team to be able to take this. So our team member now gets on the phone, closes them. And if they're closed, they would now get onboarded into our process. Again, completely automated. What does that mean? Onboarding is simply the process of taking them from a prospect to a client. So whatever you sold them, you have to be able to fulfill that. How do you fulfill that? You need to have an onboarding process. What is an onboarding process? Well, I don't know. For you, it may be different. For you, for someone else, it may be different. If it's a completely automated product and you don't have to do anything, you just send them it via email. If it's a service you have to deliver on, schedule an onboarding call. There's so many different things. Obviously, you can see here, you go through my ecosystem, high ticket purchase, they hop in the onboarding process, and now they would get an onboarding email, hop on the calendar, and then from there, we would jump into client services. So now I'm going to zoom out, and I'm going to recap everything that we had talked about. So we've got our traffic, we've got our funnel sequences, we've got our sales team ready to go in and tap into this, and we've got our automated follow-up on the back end. If you've got these 4 super simple, basic, because any way you chop it up, you can make this super intricate. If you've got these basic elements in your process, that's it. This will make you a simple 6 figures. This right here will make you 6 figures. Like just a simple landing page, something like this, to where you can send them to your front offer, right? From that front offer, get them on a booking call, right? I'm not on my front offer, but so get them on a front offer, get them to a call, and from there, get them on a call and close them. It doesn't get any more simpler than that. And honestly, I don't know what was stopping me, maybe my own action, from actually implementing this. When I started to implement this, literally my first week, I made $37,000 from literally not knowing how to make money online to learning the secrets, which was just appointment booking, just being able to reach out to my own people and get them to book appointments. We're able to generate $37,000. I mean, if you go to the website, you're gonna be able to see massive amounts of social proof on what we're doing. Again, some of the publications we've been featured in, some of the results that we're generating for clients on the e-com side, right? To, you know, what we're spending for clients on ad spend. I mean, we spent over $25 million in ads last year, you know, so excuse me, guys. Let me take a sip of water here. So with that being said, the only way that any of this was possible was being able to recognize overlooked, underutilized opportunities, being able to partner with the right fulfillment teams who would allow me to do this, to where I can leverage their social proof. I can leverage everything that they're doing. I know they can get people results. Those are the kinds of people that I want to partner with. And those are the kinds of people you should want to partner with too. So I would challenge you. I would challenge you today. Today and going forward, I want you to recognize any opportunities that you can go out there and resell. And if, like, for me, you know, being a venture capitalist, we always look for opportunities. We always look for ventures that we can invest in. What do I mean by invest in? Well, let's say I see someone and they're selling something, and I know I can package, position, and market that better. So I'm going to approach said business owner. I'm going to say, hey, said business owner, I see what you're doing. I love it. If I can make it better and I can sell it for you and actually make you more money, would you be cool with that? Sure, absolutely. I'm open to the conversation. No one's going to turn that down. And essentially what we do is we find people's offers. This is what we do in AO8. We find people's offers. We help them convert better by package, positioning, market, and selling, you know, different variations of arbitrage, other opportunities that they perhaps didn't see was on the table, make their offer better, and therefore allow them to charge more. Now, as we're doing this, obviously we're taking it, you know, we're taking a split from it. But if you're able to find a great fulfillment team, Or if you're able to recognize opportunity in the market and know that you can make something better, package, position, market, and sell it better than the business owner is doing, they're going to completely take you up on that offer 100%. So there's so many things you can do. You can do e-com, you can do agency, you can do consulting, you can do coaching, you can do so many different things. I want to make sure I'm not going over time here. So many different things. Question is, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. And actually, I have something exciting that I want to show you guys. Let me see. Let's go back here. Cool. Ask yourself the following. I know I've talked about a lot today. We're coming up on our last 15 minutes. I've talked about a lot today. And if anything you leave here today, you leave here knowing it's a lot more simpler than you're making it. You may be complicating it, saying you want to start a business. You think you need all these things. When I started online, I didn't have a single website. I didn't have a single landing page, didn't have a funnel, didn't have a social proof. I literally had myself, my authentic self, to go out there and sell what it is that I was selling. You got to start somewhere. You can't be afraid of failure. And you got to play the numbers game, right? What these 6, 7, 8-figure companies are doing is they're relying on data to make their decisions. They're relying on their KPIs, their key performance indicators, to make their decisions. What does that even mean? Okay. That means my KPIs are going to be a list of numbers that I'm tracking to know that that is health, like the growth of my company is being sustained in a healthy way or not so healthy. So what do I mean? Let's say I'm generating $100,000. Cool. Of that $100,000, how much of that was profit? Or of that $100,000, how many appointments did we need to convert to generate that $100? How much did we pay for that appointment that generated X amount of revenue, right? It's looking at these numbers to make your decisions. Oh man, maybe my cost per appointment was $15 and that's really good. Now I'm going to dump $20,000 back into the business because I know $15 got me one booked appointment. So now if I throw $20,000 back into the business, I know I'll get X amount of appointments. And vice versa. Let's say my appointments are costing me $80 an appointment. Well, I'm going to pause my ads, figure out what decisions to make, and then turn them back on. That gets a little bit more complicated. That gets a little bit more intricate. And I do teach all of these various solutions and how to grow and scale your online business. With that being said, there's so much to tap into. And if you're out there and you're trying to find an offer, or you're trying to start an online business, or you want to optimize what you already have, I have a solution for you. All right. So I'm really excited. April 1st, we are launching our new software / coaching program, AOE 2.0. Now, this is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be life-changing because every business owner, they need software. They need a CRM. They need landing page builders. They need all the whole shebang and suite of software, but they also need the fulfillment services to recognize the arbitrage in the market, right? So what if we could develop a solution that had all the softwares that you needed bottled in one, that had all the fulfillment that you needed bottled in one? What if everything could be just included and baked into one platform that allowed you to fulfill your orders, whether that was building people e-com stores, whether that was giving people Facebook ads, whether that was delivering people public relations, PR articles, putting them in press outlets? What if you had the power to do that with clicks of a button? Well, I got news for you. It's possible, and I'm going to make it possible with our new software, AO Elite 2.0. I'm going to share my screen here and show you what we're working with here. Da, 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 da. Beautiful. So coming into the software, I want to show you guys essentially like what we have here. Like, what can we do with this, right? So when you guys are going out there and you're trying to find the right fulfillment partners, it can get messy. It can get really messy because you don't know who to trust. You don't know who to deliver on. You don't know if they can get the job for you done. So what I've done is I've essentially just shortcut everything for you. Let me go here. Sorry. I'm gonna reshare my screen. All right. I have shortcut everything here for you. So essentially you need the fulfillment services. Guess what? We're going to provide these fulfillment services for you at scale. Let's say you need to run Facebook and Instagrams, customer rush pack, agency jumpstart consulting, funnel building, Google and Bing ads, HIPAA compliant, everything that you could possibly think that a business needs, we're providing these white label fulfillment services right here in our very platform. Okay, this is not available to the public right now. You cannot buy this software right now. It is 100% completely off the market. The only way you can get it is right here on this this particular live. So with that being said, we've got the fulfillment baked in right into our platform that allows you to do some very, very powerful things. I mean, we're talking the automations, we're talking the sales process, we're talking the pipeline. So if you have the ability to go and book appointments and have conversations with these appointments, track them in the pipeline, maybe the booking's confirmed, and different automations trigger, dial in your email campaigns, build your funnels and websites. Let's go here. I'm going to go to funnels. All right. So now I can build, let me see, go to my template library, or I can create a new funnel. There's so much I can do in here, from building landing pages, building websites, building membership portals, booking my appointments. Listen, there's so many different softwares out there. And if you were to go buy all these different softwares and bundle a calendar and a CRM and a funnel building site and, Twilio, to do SMS converse, like, I can literally at the click of a button message all of my prospects in my pipeline. Now the software is new. We don't really have anybody. Actually, you know what? Let me see. Who do I have? Who do I have here? Let's go to opportunity. Let's go to conversations here. Not sure I have any conversations in here right now. Cool. Hey, mini test. So now I can go through, I can send SMS or emails to my clients that I'm talking to. I can go to the opportunities in the pipeline. And from here, I know where they're at. I know if they're in a call 1 or a call 2 or a booked call. So now I can click on the name. I can go to the conversation. I can call them right from this platform. I can do all my calling, all my prospecting, all my emailing, all my text messaging, all my sales tracking, all my website building, all my scheduling, and yes, all my fulfillment services baked in one platform. Now, if this seems all too good to be true, guess what? It's reality. I'm literally going to flip the online coaching, consulting, and agency space on their head by providing an all-in-one platform for you guys to utilize. Now, you're probably wondering, like, how much does something like this cost? I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I was not, let me just say this. Let me reiterate. I was not prepared to come here today and make an offer, but I want to make this possible for you guys to tap into the very same infrastructure, the very same fulfillment pieces that I'm using right now to generate over 6 figures a year. All right. So what does something like this cost? Well, sure. If you were to go and package and position, maybe you would pay, let's say ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels would be $1,200. I'll write this out for you guys. ClickFunnels would be $1,200 a year at $97. All right, plus add Calendly at the basic level, right? 15 times 12. I'm not a mathematician here. I'm going to make this sweet, though. I'm going to make this sweet. All right, let's say 15 times 12. Again, I didn't claim to be a mathematician now. It's 180, right? So that's 1,200 plus 180. So we're at 1,380 right now in systems for the year, okay? 1,380. What else do we have? We've got, you need your calendar systems, you need your funnel building, you need your CRM. All right. So let's say a nice CRM will probably cost you $250 a month. That is going to be another 3K. All right. So now we've got 1,380. That's $4,300. Sorry. $4,400. 4,380 is the number I'm looking at. There we go. That's the number right there. $4,400 a year in software. I'm going to save you, right? You guys don't have to go out there and invest in booking systems. You don't have to go out there and invest in a funnel builder. And I'm going to make it sweet. I'm going to give you the fulfillment to make your money back. I'm going to give you the fulfillment to now have an online business, to have a digital agency, to have a coaching program, to have a PR agency, whatever kind of agency you want to start. I've got the tools. Not only that, I'm going to bake in the coaching on exactly how to use it. Now, usually this would go somewhere, anywhere between $15,000 and $20,000 for everything that I'm offering here. I'm going to give it to you guys. Okay. I'm going to give it to you guys today, lifetime access for the entire lifetime of the software. I'm going to give you lifetime access today. Drum roll, please. For $2,000, for $2K, you're going to get lifetime access to all the systems that you ever need to run your online business, to the fulfillment teams that you need to produce the results for your business. Oh yeah, and the online coaching to make sure you know what it is that you're doing, to make sure you understand your client journey, to make sure you understand your ecosystem. What if by the end of next year, or by the end of this year, 2020, you could be closing $50,000 12-month packages? What if by the end of this year, you could be closing $5,000 high ticket coaching? What if by the end of this year, you could build an e-com store? What if? The answer lies with you, my friends. The answer lies with you. It is literally your decision. It's up to you and how you play your cards. But trust me, if I can do this, if a homeless man can do this and become a multiple six-figure business owner, yeah, I'll drop it right here. If a homeless man can do this and become a six-figure business owner, you guys can do this. So I'm gonna give you guys the steps here. This link's gonna be posted on Facebook. But again, if you have any questions about this, I was not prepared to make an offer today. So, you know, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send you guys to my landing page here. If you guys are interested, I want you to go ahead. I want you to book a call with me. I'll be happy to hop on with you. I'm super, super excited to just be able to launch this to the public and give you guys the help and the service that you need, providing you the fulfillment, providing you the CRM, all the software and the systems you could ever need, and to personally give you the coaching. Again, this is a $15,000 to $20,000 offer. I'm gonna give you guys lifetime access for 2K. So here's the deal. How do we do this, right? Again, I don't have a landing page. This is being released in April. I'm releasing it to you early right now. All right, so how do we do this? All right, I want you all to go to aoelite.com. And again, you can read our landing page, look at our social proof, but the idea here is I want you to get on. I want you to book a call with us. Come here, put in your email address, apply for a Dumb For You accelerator call. Either me or my team members will be there waiting to speak with you. And again, I'm really excited to be able to help you and possibly take you to the next level. So that's all I got. And
Wow,
again,
I did not expect that.
thank you so much, man.
I did not expect that today. Wow. So very cool. What's the biggest question you expect people to ask you about this, Alex?
The biggest question that I expect people to ask me about this.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many questions, man. Where do?
Well, you got just shy of 4 minutes. So you tell me.
Oh man, okay, let's go. How do I know what offer to pick? How do I know if I want to sell e-com? How do I know if I want to sell digital agency? How do I know if I want to sell high ticket coaching? Well, I'll make it simple. What do you know? And if the answer is you don't know anything, let us just pair you with a proven leveraged offer that we know is going to sell.
That's awesome.
Go out there and sell it. We'll teach you how to sell it. Again, I'm going to provide you the coaching to know how to sell it. I'm going to provide you the fulfillment to be able to deliver on those results. And I'm going to provide you all the software you ever need for the rest of your life.
That's very cool. I'm waiting for, after we're done with this, I want to see the demo of this. This is cool. So backstory to this, you guys, just last night, I mean, like not more than 12 hours ago, Alex was like, you should hear what I'm up to. I'm like, okay. I didn't expect that you would hear about it before, right now. That's pretty cool. So what was the motivation for you to jump into this fray that is so filled with Infusionsoft Active campaign and so many others? And you've got 1 minute to tell me.
Absolutely. It was the fact that none of these platforms have the baked in fulfillment with it. None of the platforms have the ability, like, yeah, you've got the software to be able to make it go live, but do you have the sales team to support it? Do you have the infrastructure to support it? And that's essentially what this is.
That's neat. Yeah, because, most people don't have that infrastructure. They don't have those resources. They have the idea, but everything else.
They've got everything else. They've got all the, I just talked to a lady today, as a matter of fact. She has all the pieces she needs to make six figures. She just didn't have the systems, the processes. That's it at the end of the day. So.
Yeah. And that's the critical part. I mean, an event like this, for example, is all systems and processes. It totally is, making sure that we're live on the right streams, making sure that when we're not live, the replays are played at an appropriate time, making sure that things are posted properly to the Facebook group, to the dashboard, and so on. There's a lot of mechanics going on. And right now our team is manually doing a lot of it. But once you set up the automation, it's great, which is kind of cool, which is really kind of cool. So to have tools like that, I think it's fantastic. I mean, absolutely fantastic. And I couldn't be more excited to be part of your secret internal launch to World Love Week. That's very cool. And we're excited about it. And I want to definitely hear more about it. So we'll have this posted. I know it's being posted in the Facebook group right now. Also, it'll be on the dashboard as well. And that said, ladies and gentlemen, we have just a couple more seconds before we go off of this particular scene until the next one. Actually, about 15 seconds to be exact. That's code to my team in the background. So Alex, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And stay tuned for more of World Love Week.
I stand for love. Do you?
Hey, this is Captain Lou, and I stand for love, baby. Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Yes. Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you?
Out in the world, people need to have that. And you know, frankly, I'm like, what's she going to figure out about me? Which we'll talk about after the session is over. But the magic that's there is wonderful, and to celebrate that is wonderful, and to let people recognize that there is. I don't want to say that there's hope, because that sort of seems sort of, you know, yeah, there's hope, but you're not alone. You know, everybody has pain one way or the other. We all have our demons. We all have our demons. And I remember years ago, I was doing a personal growth weekend with some people, and they were all saying to me, a couple of them were like, how would you know about us? You got your shit together. And I was like, you have no idea. You have no idea. You know, outside's great, inside's like the blender's been going on. You know, so don't let anybody else convince you that you're the problem, or that you're the only one that's messed up, because everybody has a mixed master going on inside of their brain, inside of their heart, inside of their body. We all have that. Even the people with so-called perfect lives, you have no idea. None.
Yes.
You know?
I agree 100%. I've been in a lot of networking groups, and I would be keeping my face, you know, hi, how are you? And everything nice and fun and fancy. But then as soon as I left and on the way home, oh, well, I need to do this, but that's in the way. And, you know, one of my big problems that my husband didn't like was that I'm a hoarder. And so there wasn't a lot of free-flowing energy, but we fought on that very often. And I moved recently, so all of my stuff is in the garage in the basement, so I have clear energy. But I would just put on a front, and once I walk back in the front door, it's like, here it goes again.
Yep.
And I would start crying or whatever. And, you know, it's exactly like you said. Everybody at some time in their life has these thoughts. And I just want to share really fast the second time, because it was November of 2019. I was sitting across the room from Tony as we were fighting with a pair of scissors, and I just kept going over my wrist. And I just kept going over my wrist. Every time I got to that main vein, I lifted my hand and I went around it. Kept going around and around, didn't have the nerve to get into that vein. In the meantime, Tony called the police, and when they arrived, he said, she's drawing on her arm with scissors. He did not know I was trying to cut my wrist.
God.
So I want the other people that are looking into your life to pay attention also, because it could be as simple as that. You know, you think they're drawing on their arm, but they're actually trying to cut their wrist open right in front of you. you need to find what's happening with them so you could be supportive of them and help them get through whatever's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. And the bottom line really is support, letting people know they're not alone. There's all sorts of sadness out there, but the other side of it is there's all sorts of opportunity. Let's take a look at Pandemic Land, for example. What we've been doing when we haven't been live, like just before you came on, we've been replaying recordings of Opportunitython, which we ran last year. And the whole idea about Opportunitython was to say, okay, we have a pandemic, people are dying, the world's going to hell. Got it. And can you control that? No, you can only control you and your own experience. So how about if we spin it and we pivot our attitude and say, what can I do in my world to take command and control of my life so that way I'm in charge? I'm not a victim anymore. I'm the captain of my ship. I'm not in the engine room. I'm the guy given the directions or the lady given the directions. Okay. And so we ran this 28.5-hour event with that whole attitude. People need to be in that state where they recognize they are in control. And if you feel you're getting out of control, yes, obviously get help. I'm one of the lucky ones. I got help many, many years ago. And I still have people I talk to when the pressure's on and so on. And I do the work, and we have to do the work. I mean, think about this. Do you like your teeth? Do you like keeping your teeth? Let's put it that way, right? Well, guess what? Then you probably brush them every day without even thinking about it. You don't brush your teeth, you don't shower, things don't go so good, So taking care of your mental state, taking care of your spiritual state, taking care of that is equally as important as doing a daily run and getting some cardio or eating healthy or simply brushing your teeth for that matter. And I know you said you put everything in the garage. I would tell you to blow up the garage. No, for real. I would tell you to blow up the garage. I mean, my mom has, I wouldn't necessarily say she's a hoarder, but she doesn't like throwing things away.
Yes.
We found in the cupboard, groceries that are 10 years old because they were on sale. It's like, Mom, I mean, she had me eating cookies that literally were 10 years old to see if they're any good, Ken. So I made a video. My mom tried to kill me because the chemicals in those cookies were like disastrous, And so I was like, Mom, please don't die for a while because I really don't want to have to clean out your apartment.
My kids said the same thing.
Right. So just don't do that to us. So, but here's the thing. I took a feng shui class a number of years ago. And the big thing is throw your shit away because the more space you have, the more room you have for great energy. So, and I'll tell you, I've moved a bunch of different places over the past years, and I've got things that are missing now from the last move. God knows where the hell they are, including my favorite recipe book. But who cares? At the end of the day, none of that shit really matters. So I'm going to I'll challenge you to do the dump the garage challenge and just throw that. Don't even look. Just blow it up. Like the basic question: when was the last time you ever saw it? 1971. No. Yeah, it doesn't need to be there anymore. Yes, I have the comfort of knowing. Yeah, and get rid of it.
My problem is I can't throw it away, so I donate it.
Fine, that's fine. Donate it. That's even better. That's even better.
I'm working on it.
Okay. And I wouldn't say problem. I would say challenge or opportunity. Now, this
challenge.
Point,
thank you.
Donate. That's what I did with a lot of my.
Yep.
Yeah. So I would dump it, and you will find just all this energy opening up. Here I am teaching you that. Anyway, we're about to head over to our next speaker. I am thrilled that you're with us. I know you've got a couple of gifts for us, so we're going to pop those into the on the dashboard. So worldloveweek.com/dashboard, and there'll be a link to all the gifts from all of our speakers, including the amazing Catherine. I got to tell you, I'm humbled by your ability to share and the way you open yourself up to us. You amaze me. You're amazing.
I stand for love. Do you?
Hey, this is Captain Lou, and I stand for love, baby. Do you? Do you?
Do you?
Do you? Yes. Do you? Do you?
Do you?
Do you? Do you?
It's two different types of of writing. Maybe it's not so much show, not tell, because you're not writing a story, but at the same time, it's a kind of storytelling. So, but there are two different kind of approaches, you can say.
You know, as a nonfiction writer, and that's kind of my domain, I absolutely agree with you that the power of story is still critical because people remember the story. So if we're going to talk about whatever the topic may be, you know, training a dog, then telling the story about how Billy trained, you know, Biffy the dog or whatever, and you know, first he did this and first he did that, and then, you know, and then I taught him this one little thing, and oh my god, you know, that people remember, right? So it's really important to do that. And then, as you said, very important distinction for every one of us is to remember, number one, who your audience is. If it's a scientific journal, right? If it's a scientific journal, you can talk in that very high language. But if you're talking to common people like us, then talk in natural language. Don't try to impress us with big words, because that you lose the audience there. And they, you know, it's funny, you know, as a writer, I'm a writer, but I'm more of a copywriter. And when you write copy to convert, to get people to take action, you got to write it at like the 4th, 5th, 6th grade level so people can read it. Using big words that say you're a genius doesn't get you the audience. So, right.
And that is, I would say it's very important too in non-fiction or in fictional books to know who your audience is. Because if you're writing a fantasy book, it's not the same people who wants to read a thriller or a romance story. You need to limit your audience, because that's a common mistake. You think, oh, I'm writing for everybody. But it's so hard to englobe all people in an audience. You have to know who your audience, who you want to write to or write for, and adapt your language, of course, after your audience. Even in fictional books.
You know, it's funny, so funny that you're mentioning that, because as a marketing guy, we talk about the right fit audience and knowing who your customer avatar is and eliminating those, you know, it's like Michelangelo in that slab of marble. You know, how did he find David? He took out what wasn't, right? And you're talking about writing to the correct audience, or choosing your audience and writing to them. It's interesting. I don't think people connect that writing is the same thing. It's knowing, you know, Stephen King, knowing who his reader is, you know, to be able to write towards that person, whoever that market is. I don't even know who that market is for Stephen King, how you would describe their reader. But that's amazing. And I don't know that people recognize that it goes so far into everything that we do, is getting real specific to knowing your customer, knowing your client, and serving them. And you know, I mean, imagine, well, it's really interesting knowing your client. So you go to a concert, right? And when the artist wants to play new music, we in the audience don't want new music. We still want Goodbye Yellow Brick Road at an Elton John concert. We don't want the new stuff. The hell with that. We still want, you know, blah, blah, blah. And Elton John's probably so tired. He wants to have that road be torn up, you know, but Yellow Brick Road has made him a lot of money, you know. So as a writer, same kind of idea. So what kind of books excite you the most?
What kind of books? I will say I'm not specialized in any type of genre, or how you pronounce it in English.
Genre is correct.
Genre.
Oh, I like it with the genre. Très bien, it's fantastic.
Ouais, c'est très bien, c'est comme ça.
Merci. So no, I see, I get excited about that. That's just, I'm one of those you know. Yeah.
I love working with all kind of books, because I think it's the same kind of craftsmanship. Because I think what's important to think about too is that you can learn how to write, because some people think it's only inspirational, it's only genius who can write a book, but this is something you can learn how to do. And of course, if you read a feel-good book, there's certain expectations from the reader. There should, for example, always be a happy ending. If you are writing a criminal story, you want to know who the killer is. Or, yeah, because if you are not writing like a, I don't know, trilogy or something, but there is something that's important in every type of book.
Elena,
and
sorry.
Go ahead, Zohar.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask. I love your presentation. It's awesome. I was gonna ask, when you're writing a book or when you're writing whatever, are you a type of writer that normally start with outline and follow the outline, or are you the person that just go with the creativity of the story?
And as you answer that, understand we have less than 30 seconds left. So before we have to go to our next guest. So
yeah, I will make a quick answer. I'm planifying, because mostly I'm writing for other people, so it's what they want to write that I'm focusing on. So they need to know what I should write as a ghostwriter, for example. But you can do both. It's when you're writing a book yourself, you do what feels the best for you, because there is no right or wrong in writing a book, I think, or the way you write a book, but there are components you need to think about.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. So unfortunately we've got to end our stream right over here. We have another stream coming up in just another second here, actually right now. So yeah. Helena Hansen, thank you so much for being with us today. I love you. You're awesome.
Yeah, lots of love you from Paris and to you all. And thank you for letting me speaking here today.
It's been an honor to have you. It's been an honor to have you. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
Au revoir.
I stand for love. Do you?
Hey, this is Captain Lou, and I stand for love, baby. Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Yes. Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you?